Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good morning to everyone. Now, in this guest lecture organized by Vikramgarh College, now we are dealing with the communication skill in English. That there are varieties of English, American English, British English, and how they differ from Indian English. Some words they are of different. It spells differently in British English and American English. And Indian English, more than 30 million users, and more than that, and in some of the states, Seven Sisters, as we say, Mizoram, there we find out Indian, I mean English language as the official language, and in every disciplines of knowledge, every colleges, schools, private schools, aided, unaided, they often, almost, they use English for learning uh, subjects, or it is a language of knowledge. So use of English appropriacy with the context, we have to change our some words like suppose we are at dinner, we should avoid using sodium chloride or H2O. Instead of we have to use salt or water. Appropriacy, context and vocabulary, we should avoid stereotypical languages. Then non-verbal communication, it also plays a significant role in our life. So major elements of non-verbal communication like facial expressions, gestures, tactile, eye contact, visual signs, pleasant, unpleasant, intimacy, so posture. Now we'll say dress and grooming. It's also the part of our non-verbal communication. Choice of clothes on different occasions, our attention to neatness and details like well-combed hair and clean nails. So proxemics, human use of space, and Edward T. Hall pointed out is a cultural anthropologist and coined this term in 1963. So the interrelated observations and theories of man's use of space as a specialized elaboration of culture. How we use space to another human beings, our distance. We share some of the uh, ideas with our intimate space. I mean, very close friends, lovers, children, close family members. They know about us everything. So we do not have to hide anything because we do not have any space. For our children, we do not have any space. So personal space is their friends, chat with associates, and in group discussion, 4 feet social. We use space to strangers, newly formed groups, and new acquaintances. It means to social or public space is there. There we hesitate to explain or to express our inner feelings. It means space. It is not a physical space. It is the space where we feel comfortable to share our ideas and thoughts. That is the space. Then it is also para language. I mean, non-verbal aspects of spoken words are also there. It means the quality of voice, the way we use it, the voice tone is there, or speed or modulation in the voice, or hesitation or non-fluence. Sometimes people do such kind of people are habitualized with such kind of habits to say then audience they will catch such things, and the speaker is telling like this so many times. So hesitation or non-fluency or cannot find the next word. Suppose a speaker is unable to find out the next word, that is also come in the category of para language. It says that the speaker is empty, speaker is blank. So it's a para language. Silence is there. Silence. Suppose speaker maintains silence. Silence has Silence means respect. Silence means shyness. Silence means fear, fear of the stage. Silence. Silence has multiple meanings. Possibilities of meanings are there. Short sentences or pauses are there. So this is about paralanguage. The pause is there. It means according to the context, audience, they receive the message. With the help of the context, they visualize, they see on screen or offline or online, whatever the mode or platform is. Then in our syllabus, there is one new concept, that is elevator speech. What is elevator speech? I will tell you. Elevator speech. Elevator speech means we do not have much time in this global and competitive, tough world. We we just often get 1 or 2 minutes, and in that duration, we have to introduce ourselves. That is called as an elevator's speech or elevator's statement. A brief and purposeful introduction. What is elevator speech? Then quick summary of your background and experience. Name is there. What is your name? Your goal? How you demonstrate your interest. Brief speech. Brief it is a speech, and clarity is required. And it should be in a normal pace and modulate your voice. I will read one elevator speech sample. Hello, I'm Sami Chaudhary, pursuing a bachelor's in arts from the University of Mumbai with psychology as a major. I'm interested in serving as a counselor, especially in the corporate field. I have been involved in educational counseling through the activities of the NSS NET in my college. I have developed skills of my mapping and creating a portfolios. I realized that I enjoy counseling when I was serving as an intern at Baba Educational Resource Center. It would be great if you could let me know about openings in this area. Here is my card. Okay, within 1 or 1.5 minutes it's completed. This is called as elevator's speech, and nowadays or elevator's statement. It is a brief and purposeful introduction at a given point. Why it is important? Because often we have at career point of view, we have to meet professors or CEOs or managers and different industrialists. We often get an opportunity. So we do not have much time to explain, and they also do not have much time to listen us. So this is called as elevator's speech or elevator's statement, where we can briefly or concisely introduce ourselves and we point out our area of interest, our goal, our name, and it is our how we speak it. Our clarity, our pronunciation is also judged or evaluated in this elevator's speech. I hope you got this point. Then we have ICT and use of English, information and communication technology and use of English. Now we are here at Zoom platform because of ICT and use of English. Mobile telephony, we have texting, I mean through WhatsApp. Nowadays, it is almost impossible to live without WhatsApp or without social media sites or Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and many more things. Texting, then we have video conferencing. Video conferencing, this Zoom platform is a sort of video conference. Social media platforms we have. So before the meeting or presentations, how we have to prepare for it? We should check our technology. Now at the beginning itself, we have checked, am I audible? I have asked you. Then I also had a call with consultant. So we have to check out a technology and we should review the topic. I have discussed how I have to explain, how I have to deliberate, how I have to extend communication skill in English in front of you. I have to review my topic, dress and grooming. Dress and grooming also plays important role in this category. You can see me at the beginning, uh, I didn't have, wear a coat. Then I have remembered that I have forgotten. So I have here. So dress and grooming also plays. I am citing my own examples at this platform also. Dress and grooming also plays vital role. Suppose you are anchoring at various events, and it's the responsibility as Bansode sir is here. We have to do the responsibility of anchoring or hosting the so many programs in our colleges, like prize distribution ceremony, gatherings. So we also have to be very careful about dress and grooming. And you all, suppose a particular occasion is there, accordingly we have to wear, and we should how to maintain our, I mean, combing hairs. Dress, it's part of dress and grooming. We should groom accordingly. What the situation demands. Uh, Once again, please, someone's voice is during the meeting of or presentations. During the meeting or presentations, we have to set up. Then we have to start. Some interruptions are possible now. Some students, they have unmuted themselves. So interruptions are possible. We have to say in a soft and kind language. Interruptions can be resolved with it. Yeah. Interruptions and how to tackle with the interruptions. We have to, if we are going to interrupt, going to suggest somebody else, we should say in an excuse note. You have to be very kind when to resolve interruptions also in the meeting or presentation. Our language has to be very soft, artistic, having simplicity in our language while presenting our ideas, notes. It's expected that audience or students, they have to write their notes and conclusions. That should be the overall structure of your meeting or presentations. Setup is important. Setup. Today in the morning I came, so I have was thinking where I have to be. I have set up my laptop. So setup is important. Plug of your laptop. We have to set up all these things. Just I remembered, if electricity will go, so I'm having backup or not. I'm citing these examples to make you aware of how to prepare your setup. These examples. Just now, in front of you, I have just plugged it on. Now it is battery. I'm having more than 80%, but 20% I have to be alert. I just told you some examples I'm citing are lively. Setup is important. Then starting. One speaker is expected to tell what would be the structure, or everything he has to point at the beginning itself. And I also did the same thing when we are beginning our lecture. Starting is there, interruptions, some interruptions, and how I have tackled interruptions, language, notes, and conclusion. With the course of time, we'll see also the conclusion of this lecture. Then we have interviews, modes of interviews. Traditional is one of the preferential mode of conducting an interview. Traditional interview, where face-to-face interviewer and interviewee. Interviewer one who conducts the interview and interviewee, that is candidate, both meet in a platform where they exchange their views or the questions raised by the panelists or interviewee are answered by the interviewee, questioned by the interviewer. So semi-formal or face-to-face interview is there. Semi-formal, where it is informal one, where candidate or interviewee feels comfortable and he or she can explain some ideas. It is semi-formal. It is informal level. At informal level, suppose in the canteen, when we meet at some railway stations or bus stand or in any hotels, so semi-formal. It is not a formal one. Then telephonic interview. Telephonic interview will prepare. Suppose organization is there on telephone. Organization can ask some basic information. It is not a complete interview. Telephonic interview will just groom the organizer about the candidate, and organization can just have some few words can be speakable to the interviewee. So interview via video conferencing, that is Skype is there, and many such kind of platforms like this Google Meet is there, then Webex is also there. Such kind of new platforms are emerging after COVID-19 pandemic. After during the pandemic, before that Google Meet was there, but we are unknown about it. I want to use. Hope you are, suppose some students have used it, Google Meet, but we are, the entire world is very familiarized with the new generating platforms that we are using. They are also useful. It saves time. Okay, there is no human touch. That is the problem. Therefore, offline teaching is important. Suppose the same lecture, suppose in the next year, or we will also, I also request Bansode sir to organize offline mode. That would be a great pleasure. You will also get a human touch, and we like offline. So telephonic interviews, interview via video conferencing, types of interviews are there. Structured interview, where questions are asked in the sequential orders. Then unstructured interview, where detailed discussions are possible, lengthy discussions may take place. That is called as unstructured interview. Then situational or case study interview, where real life situations, IAS or IPS interviews, real life situations, they are asked, and how the presence of mind or alertness or the decision making power of the candidate is judged or evaluated, or it is studied in situational or case study interviews. Stress interview, deliberately rude questions or conflicting situations have created. Abusive languages also are used in the stress interview. And why it is there? Because in order to understand the capacity, whether the candidate is able to deal with such kind of situations, or he can burst into anger. Stress interview, deliberately candidates are supposed to given a stressful situation, and how he can tackle with such kind of situations, such kind of stressful situations is judged in this stress interview. Then preparing for an interview, do your research about the company, understand your job profiles, know your CV, prepare your answers, decide what you are wearing. That is grooming part we have seen in non-verbal communication right now. Clothes accordingly. Our travel arrangements are also important. How we carry our resume, certificates, or briefcases. Research before time. Then switch off your cell phone or turn it on silent mode before entering the room. Now, I have to be whatever the online platforms are there. We have to keep our mobile on silent mode. Some kind of things The interview time also the same thing we have to follow. Then top interview skills are there. You can see some of the images. When just I thought when I will prepare the slides, I will also show some images that will make you fresh. And occasionally you also have to have a drop of water that will make you fresh. Brain should be active. Thank you. So prepare, be punctuality has to be followed and balance. You know, in an interview, I will tell you, interviewee and interviewer both are not complete. Every human being is incomplete, not complete. What is judged? Your sincerity level, your softness, and how you are speaking, your confidence level is evaluated in any interviews. Then look at some images. What are your passions? Describe your work style. What motivates you? What's your greatest weaknesses? We have to be very frank to tell what is our greatest weaknesses. You also can see these questions. Please tell me about yourself. So, how do you handle stress and pressure? This is some questions are difficult, and it is individual. It is not at group level. Describe your work style. What motivates you? What motivates you? What's your greatest weakness? What are your passions? Here, frank. One has to be frank, open-minded to answer all these questions. Then some of the tips are there. Research, know your CV, two-way. The interviewer, interviewee. So preparing for an interview, analyze the job, make a match. So I will conclude the interview by telling you that you have to be mentally, physically be prepared about the company. You should know the working culture of the company or the founders of the company. You should know the present significant place in the market. Suppose the companies are there in the share market. You should know up-to-date knowledge about the company. That is called as a research. It means you know our company. It means you like it, you want to join it, and you want to give your best. If suppose a candidate is mentally, psychologically prepared, then we have practice is important. Mock interviews. You also have to request your friends to ask such type of questions in front of all your friends, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should give some responsibilities. You are subject expert. Your friends, among your friends, you are suppose you are a subject expert. Then you are like this. You are like you have to give, and you have to organize mock interviews. Suppose in front of your teacher also you can, so that you can improve. It's about improvement. And Sant Tukaram says, "Ashakyate shakya karita ayasa karan abhyas tuka mane." So practice is required. Without practice, it's very difficult. Practice. Before I have joined this college on 7th January 2013, 2013, 2013. So I'm really hesitant to have the practice of anchoring. I didn't know because I was doing CHP job as Pankaj sir has read my resume. But when I thought that I should practice, then in last 5 or 6 years, I'm doing the practice. We have to use the platform like college, our working place, where we can grow, we can develop, we can uh, develop, or we have to be self-introspect ourselves. That's called as practice. Everywhere you have to be practiced. You have to work hard. You should discuss with your friends about ideas. That is practice. Your discussions have to be innovative and original. This is the practice. We can practice interview on offline with the deliberations with your friends in a group discussion, with discussions with your teachers also. Interview clothes, just I told you. Practice interview etiquettes, body language. Will not repeat once again. Then something you can work on your practice interviews. There are also specific etiquettes are there. I will not go because we already have discussed while discussing interviews. A teacher has to be aware. You should not use read all the slides. Just has to point out some ideas with the help of the slides. So then follow up with a thank you note. Thank you letter, follow up, sales letter, whatever it is. Because just see the image. Practice interview etiquettes continued. Okay, the world is yours. This image, one painting or one image is like 1,000 words, where you can transcend your dreams. You should see the big dreams, and as Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam also pointed out, great dreams of great dreamers are always transcended. So in an interview, you can transcend your dreams, your hopes, your expectations, and many more. Because interview is a passport of your success. Be remembered. Please remember, successful interview is a passport of your success in your life. An interview at the conclusion, I will tell you, interview is not, we are unable to prepare the interview on one day itself. It has to be practiced daily.
So thank you, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Please.
sir.
Yes, sir. Please.
Time is running out again.
Yes,
So
yes.
I request you and all the participants to rejoin with the same link, please.
Shall we use 2-3 minutes? Shall we use it? Because
yes, we can continue.
after 1 minute, I will say you, all of you, to rejoin.
Yes,
we'll wait for 5 minutes are there still. So creative writing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, I will continue. Creative writing, creativity. There are some principles of creativity. Creativity means what? Marathi we say सृजनशीलता, सृजनात्मक होने. There is one chapter in Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's Wings of Fire, that is creation, where he talks about creativity. What is creativity? Rabindranath Tagore in his what is art? He talks about art, and he says that art is the surplus. Art is the surplus. Art is the production of our surplus energy. I remembered when I studied in a UG class. When we are studying our PG, MA, we had a chapter on Rabindranath Tagore's What is Art. I remembered that one. Art. Creativity is an art. Creative writing is an art. So art is the production of our surplus energy. I will explain. We have whatever the energy we have consumed by, and we have surplus energy, and we utilize this energy for education purpose, for teaching and learning purpose. That is our surplus energy. Some people, some writers who just for writing surplus energy, whatever the passion people have, they utilize. That is called as surplus energy. We see the entire throughout the world. Monuments are there. World historical places are there. They are the surplus production of surplus energy. So principles, what are the principles? Point of view is important in creative writing. Point of view, first person point of view, second person you, first person I, second person you, Charlotte Bronte, Jane Eyre is written in first person point of view. Then you, occasionally some novels are written in second point of view, and third point of view, or omniscient point of view, where most of the novels are written in third point of view, or he, she, it, like this. Characterization is important. How characterization through which a writer or novelist, playwright can express his own world, as Dr. George Bernard Shaw pointed out, that I will not, what he says, I quote him, I will not write a single word for the sake of amusement. My whole purpose is to convert the people into my opinion. So he wants writing to be a propaganda to change the world. Characterization through characters, he will make such kind of characters where he will put forth his own ideas, and he, I mean, writer is attempting, sincerely attempting to change this world. So plot is there. Plot means the sequence of events where in the plots climax is there, anticlimax is there. In tragedy, we can see some climax. In movies also, we see plot arrangement of events are there, or flashback technique is also there in Wuthering Heights, Emily Bronte's novel. Flashback technique is used. So it's a plot. Why I'm citing, I'm thinking that you are from, some students are having English as a special subject. Therefore, I am citing examples from English literature, characterization, plot, or style. Style, peculiar style. Every writer has, they are having unique style. You know, in Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis, transformation is there, where Gregor Samsa transformed into a gigantic insect. That is a style. Every style is different. Every unique style. Magic realism, different style. Or S.T. Coleridge, Kubla Khan, or Ancient Mariner. Alone, alone, all alone, alone in a wide, wide sea. Okay, style. What a style. Best words in the best order, we say. We define poetry. We means S.T. Coleridge defines what is best words in best orders. Style. Every style is different, and it is we are expected to develop our own style. We should not imitate another style. So, a creative writing, creativity, where I will request all the students to write your own messages. You should not copy and paste whatever the messages on the eve of your friend's birthday. You should compose it. Whatever they are, you should compose. Do not just copy and paste from websites. You should create it. You should write it. In that way, you also can develop. These platforms